Okay, it should be starting.
Grab me that bottle of water. Might have to buy another air conditioner.
Okay. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Lashay's Venture Podcast. I do have a special guest here with me. I'm gonna go ahead and let him introduce himself.
I am Big Trev from the Big Trev Show, podcaster, personality that operates in Detroit, Michigan.
Okay. Can you tell them a little bit about yourself? Like, how did you start doing the podcasting, and how did you get in the industry and start? Just tell them a little bit about what you do.
Well, I started like during the pandemic. You know, like everybody else. You know, they put the world on. Let me put this mic up a little bit. They put the world on hold for probably about a year, and they laid me off from. I ain't gonna say they laid me off. They put us off work because of the pandemic, because of the COVID, for like 6 months, and I had to figure out something to do. You know, in those 6 months, and me and my partner, we started a podcast, and you know, just kind of for just to give us something to do. And you know what? Just long story short, as far as what I do now, during the pandemic, filmmaker Dennis Reed too, out of Detroit, Michigan, you know, one of the most famous independent filmmakers in the country. You know, I came across one of his Instagram posts where he was doing a movie premiere at a drive-in in Dearborn, Michigan. If you guys don't know the Detroit area, Dearborn is right outside of Detroit. And so I thought it was cool. I said a movie premiere. I thought it would be cool to go to the movie premiere. And so I inboxed Dennis and said, "Hey man, can I come do interviews at the movie premiere?" And he said, "Call me." And we jumped on the phone, and here we are, you know. Here we are.
Wow.
And long story short, just to kind of chop into that a little bit, what happened was that at the time, Dennis probably was the hottest filmmaker at the time. And so, and basically once the other filmmakers in the area, in the city, seeing Dennis using me, they started calling me. They was like, "Hey, can you come do my movie premiere? Can you come do my movie premiere? Can you come do my movie premiere?" And that, or at least that's what it seemed like to me, because, you know,
Because he was known, so he just opened a bigger space for you.
yeah,
right?
he did. And so here we are now, and now Detroit got me doing everything. Now I'm doing networking events. I got a couple fashion shows coming up. I do pop-ups.
Wow.
You know, everybody's a star. Everybody want to be interviewed. So there's work for me.
Okay. So like, how do you feel now? Like, did you think from when you first started to now it'll be like this?
No way. I didn't even know. You know, I had never met anyone or never seen anyone doing this before besides people like Entertainment Tonight, because in essence, that's what I am to the Detroit area. It's like Entertainment Tonight, like, whatever you got going on. Hey, the Big Trev Show, I'll come over and do interviews on your red carpet. I'll cover it for you. So,
So it's like
but
the essence of Detroit.
yeah. And so, I had no idea. I look up one day and I'm interviewing Cheryl Underwood and Judge Mathis and,
Okay.
and Clifton Powell and hosting the reality show, the recaps on the reality show. That was wow. That was just crazy. So here we are.
See that one person just turned into big.
Thank you, Dennis.
So like, how often do you do the shows, and like, how is it like when you first did your celebrity appearance? How did you feel?
Well, that very first at the drive-in, Jennifer Williams from Basketball Wives. Dennis had cast her in the movie. She was coming to town. He told me that she was sort of kind of expecting some diva treatment, and so it was that was she was really my first like real celebrity interview. So the very first time out I got Jennifer Williams. Angela Yee from the Breakfast Club was with her, but she didn't want to interview. She said, "This is my girl's moment, and I don't want to take away from my girl's moment." And so I was trying to get her on because Angela Yee was huge at the time, and but she said, "No, this is my girl's moment." And so, but we had fun. I learned a lot from it. It was hot that day, I remember, but no, I had no idea it would turn out to what it is today.
So you have covered red carpets and celebrity interviews. Like, what inspired you to like pursue it? You know.
Well, this is what happened. So we started out, we before I even got on the phone with Dennis, we were doing, I'm gonna say probably for about 3-4 months. No, I'm gonna say about 6 months. We was just doing a regular podcast, and we were just doing what everybody. We was just kind of copying what the Breakfast Club was doing. Whatever the hot topics was, we was covering them. We was talking about them. But that got boring because we were just doing what everybody else was doing,
Yes,
and
do.
I hated that. I said, that's why I contacted Dennis, because I said, man, this is just, I didn't feel special. I didn't feel like this was going to go nowhere. I said, if I'm doing what everybody else is doing, I'm not special. I can't go nowhere with this. This is boring.
Yeah.
And so that's why I did hit Dennis. And that's just how I am. I get bored with things easily. If it don't start to pick up, if it don't start to, to explode for me, I'm gonna look for something else or try to find another
Yeah.
angle. And
Because
I did.
you want to be outside of the. I feel like you want to be outside of the box. Like, even though you're doing this, you want to do like different things, different what's the names. Like,
Exactly.
I
Exactly.
I had a segment on my show with Fun. Shout out to Fun. He's from Detroit as well. Um, well, he's from Flint, but it's close to Detroit. But I had a relationship segment with him, and I was like, I just want to try something different. I interview a lot, so let me try something different. I was like, and I like the segment. We actually had two, and hopefully have a third one. But I like you said, you don't want to be inside of the box. Like, okay, like, well, if this ain't going nowhere, I'm getting bored. Let's try something else. Let's move around. Like, I see you
Exactly.
standing still, so why not try nothing else? And that's how I am. I like the segments, and I feel like that kind of like I wanted to be like a series too. Like, but I kind of like want to just move around with it. You don't want to just stay in one place with the podcast because, like you said, it get boring. Like,
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly. I had to stretch out a little bit.
yes. What changed you when you had your first celebrity interview? Did that change you? Like, when you interviewed with her, like, what she thought what you was gonna be? Like, was she like kind of like?
Well, let me say this. First of all, I always thought she was beautiful. She was beautiful. I mean, just off rip. Okay, I always thought she was beautiful, but when I seen her, it was like an angel. I was like, damn. She was gorgeous that day. She was gorgeous that day. And I was speechless how, just how beautiful she was in person. And, but I had, I got myself under control and was able to, get through the interview. It was very hot day. We was outside. It was hot that day. She was hot and, she was happy to be in Detroit. She was in a good mood. And so it was a dope interview. But no, nothing changed me. Now, before I came to the podcast world, I was a celebrity DJ. So
Oh,
I had done a couple. I had been on tour with Mike Epps before that, DJing for Mike Epps, and I had been, I had done, the Ice Cube tour came to Detroit. I was on that tour when Jodeci and Mint Condition came to town. I was on that tour. So I had already, and then my friends, a couple of my friends, they're promoters. And so they
mhm.
always had me backstage with every celebrity you can name. And so I had already,
So you was already used to it. Like
yeah,
you had
yeah, I was
already,
already used to being
you
around
already was in the
celebrities.
game. It wasn't like you were just coming in. You was already DJing. You
Yeah,
just transformed over to podcasting.
yeah, that was easy. I had hung out with LL and what's his name? Uh, what's the guy from Public Enemy? What's his name? Flavor Flav. Flavor
Oh,
Flav.
you
Oh,
met Flavor
yeah,
Flav.
yeah. I had hung out with
You
Flavor
playing?
Flav and yeah, and LL Cool J and them guys, man, and Big Daddy Kane, MC Light. I had hung out with all those guys. So the
This
celebrity.
wasn't new to you. You just was like,
No,
okay, let me
no,
go to the next field.
no,
Basically, you just jumped to the
no.
next.
It wasn't new, but still exciting, still exciting, still exciting.
So, what's the difference from doing a red carpet than like a in person interview? You know how you sit down and you. What's the
Oh,
difference?
the red carpets is just so dope, man. It's just always extra. It's just always it's a big moment. It's bright lights. It's red carpet. It's backdrops. Everyone looks great. I get up. I look forward to every. Still to this day, I still look forward to every movie premiere, and I do. I go all out for it. I go full mass. I bring my whole setup, and I do. I want every person I interview to feel special, and that's why my people always get on me about sounding robotic in my interviews, and it's because I treat everybody's individual interview like it's the only one I got. So that's why
Yeah,
you hear me see this. I do the same spiel at the beginning of every interview because I feel like like his family and his friends. I'm looking
yeah,
out for his family and his friend. When they see it, I want them to feel like wow, this guy has made it.
yeah.
And so
Of
so I
course,
do. That's my goal is to
you
make them
want them
feel
to feel
special.
special. You want the person that you're interviewing to feel special.
Exactly.
Like yeah, like not like okay, well he just interviewed this person and I ain't special. You want them to feel special, even if it's the same spiel at the beginning.
Exactly. But you know what? It's still, what I still get excited about. Even to this day, when I watch the Tubi movies and I see everybody, I see the people. I still, when I see them on TV, I interview them. They my friends now, and I still get excited. I still like my man Quentin Sharp. Every time I see Quentin on the TV, I still be like, man, I know him. You know,
I didn't
even
interview him. I actually know this man. I've
yeah,
actually
yeah.
talked to this
I,
man. Yeah.
I still do that to this day. Everybody that I've met, everybody I'm cool with, I see LeMaster and be like, man, I know him. I know him. I interview him. I still get excited about that.
I
And,
think
and
that's me too. Like I think that's me too. Like I be like cause I watch Tubi on a daily. But I be like, wow, I really interviewed with this person. Like, and
yeah,
he
that's
really
still
on the
dope to
TV
me.
screen. Like, wow, that's dope.
Yeah,
That's dope.
that's the and even when I get the inbox from man, when Lisa Brown will inbox me, oh my god, I'll be like, Lisa Brown just inboxed me. You know, that's
Like,
still
yeah, you
cool.
still have that.
Yeah,
That's just called
yeah.
the
Oh my
humbleness of
god,
your
it
heart.
is still cool as hell to get an inbox from Lisa Brown, man.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
That's
dope.
still like that just shows you the humbleness of your heart. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, cause I do the same thing. I'm like, oh, wow, it must be big. Like, I really just interviewed this person. I'm really just talking to this person. Like, that's
yeah,
dope. Like, it
yeah.
makes
So
you feel special. So yeah.
yeah, it does. It does.
So, what qualities did you learn from transitioning over from DJing to interviewing and doing the red carpets?
Just being a showman, part of being a DJ, you got you own the mic, you got to hype the crowd. And so that was yeah, the transition was seamless. It was easy. I mean, it was pretty much the same thing. Like the podcast equipment is just DJ equipment. So it wasn't any transition there. It was just when I bought it, it was what I work with all the time. Mixers, microphones. I was doing cameras every now and then. I would record my sets or record me DJing. So only thing I had to really learn is the camera, the equipment to get the camera through the internet. So that was the only thing I really had to learn. But being on a microphone, I was already doing that, and so I just had to. And then I'm a professional anyway. I've always been a professional. I've always, my job is professional. Just and that just means just I got a job where I got to answer to the public, and I gotta appear a certain way, and I got to speak a certain way. So and that's being articulate. And so I was already that. And so as far as just just knowing how to talk, knowing how to talk and knowing what to say, that was already there.
Okay. Have you ever had a special surprise guest on your show?
Yeah. You know what? I remember the Cheryl Underwood was. I knew Cheryl was going to be there. It was funny how it happened. I knew Cheryl was going to be at the premiere. I knew she was going to be there, but I didn't know when she was coming. So what happened was I was doing an interview with Tommy Hearns. Man, shout out to Tommy Hearns, boxer Tommy Hearns out of Detroit, old school. And she just bombed the interview. She just bombed. Hey, what you doing with my man Tommy? She just bombed. And so that was a big surprise. And then I was able to calm it down and then get her to a space where I could interview her, and Mike Bonner was in that shot as well. So that was a big surprise. That was kind of a big surprise. And then I've had some bigger celebrities or just as big celebrities that came to movie premieres, but they didn't want to be interviewed. So but yeah, it's always exciting. It's always surprising.
What have you learned being in this business?
You know what? I've learned that everybody's not gonna like you. Everybody's not gonna like you. I really, I work to that. I work for that. I want to do good business. I want to respect everybody. I'm not out to hurt no feelings. That's why it was hard for me to do movie reviews. Me and Dennis had a tough conversation about doing movie reviews, and Dennis kind of felt like I wasn't really being truthful in the movie reviews. He was like, Trav, you got to be, he said, if a movie sucked, man, you got to say it, and he just had relayed to me that he said, Trav, I never would have got better at what I do if people, didn't tell me that I done a bad job. And so I really was afraid to tell people that they movie sucked. I didn't want to give people a bad review. And even when I didn't think the movie was nice, I still found something positive to say about the movie. You know what I mean? And I admit to floating a couple 5 stars when the movies was really trash, man. But because they was my friends, you know what I'm saying? So
I thought nice.
Yeah, I thought I was helping them out, man. But I realized what Dennis said was right, man. You know what? But that's why I don't do them no more. So I've cut back. I haven't done a movie review probably in about a year.
Hey, so we've been up on the map. These movies been good.
Yeah, I want to get out there and do some. And the thing was, even in the end, the last few that I done, I only done them because I liked them, and I was able to be truthful about them. I was able to go. I was able to say, hey, you know what? I really like this movie. And,
are you afraid of the backlash that you're gonna get?
Oh yeah, definitely, man. I listen. I don't accept.
I think that's why I never do stuff like that, because it's like,
I don't accept criticism well.
Yeah, me either. That's why I never do stuff like that. Like, you'll see some people go to food restaurants and different stuff when they do podcasts, and they do, they go to different things. I don't want the backlash.
So if you see a movie review from me from here on out, it's because I like your movie. I'm not doing a review of no movies that I don't like, man. But I did get people that asked me to do their movies. Their movies sucked, and they asked me to do reviews, and so, and so yeah, I done them some favors, but no more, man, no more of that. No more of that.
Press conferences often involve limited time. How do you make your questions memorable enough to get meaningful answers?
You know what? I'm a real good researcher. I love to do research. That was something remember in school when we had those papers in school. I was just always good at it. I was always good at doing papers.
Research papers.
Yeah, I was always good at doing research papers. I was always good at that. So that's probably the number one trait that I brought to doing interviews, is because You give me like I didn't have a lot of time today. Like I got an interview with Bubba Dub at 2, and I just I grabbed what I could, But I told his manager that I was only needed him for like 10 minutes. So
Mm-hmm.
but I still get all the information. I still want to know your real name. I still want to know your age. I still want to know where you from. You
As you
know,
should.
and I get all that stuff written down, and then I'm able to once I see it, I'm able to put together the interview. So
That's good because you do a lot of research. It's good to do research on people. I learned that.
definitely, definitely,
I learned that throughout my interviews. You do
always
have to
be
be.
prepared. Always be prepared.
Yes, yes. What advice would you give to someone who dreams of becoming a red carpet host or entertainment journalist?
You know what? You got to make sure that you like to do this because I fell in love with it first. I mean, I thought it was cool at first, when Dennis announced, promoted the movie premiere. And then once I done it, I caught the bug. So my number one advice would be just make sure you love it because I love this. And when you love it, you will, I mean, I didn't stayed up all night getting ready for interviews, you know,
Hmm.
you will, you want to don't expect no money for it. Like I said, you got to love it. Let me just leave it at that. You just got make sure you love it. That's
Love
my
what you
advice.
do.
Yeah, yeah.
What's the biggest challenge you have faced in the entertainment industry, and how did you overcome it?
You know what? My biggest one was, you know what? I had partnered up with a guy. We was the Big Trev in Hollywood show for a while, and I think I had, me and him had teamed up for probably about a year, maybe a year and a half. And at that point, what happened was we started doing this, and it just took off. It took off faster than we thought. Man, we were in demand. Everybody was calling us, and so I realized that I didn't need a partner. I don't think you need two people to do this. But in the beginning, I kind of thought that having a buddy with me, I felt like I needed like some a safety net, and so that's why I felt like I needed a partner, and I
I
needed
think
somebody.
that's how it is when you come in. You feel like you need somebody, you
Yeah,
know. But I like I said with podcasting, you can't be like you have to think outside of the box. And if you get somebody that's willing to work with you, like that's good. Like don't get nobody that want to work because it's been several people I have asked to work with and they didn't do it. So with me, I do want to eventually expand it. I don't know if you ever seen tonight's conversation. Where they
I
have.
haven't. I haven't.
Okay, well, you got it. It's like a relationship thing, something like that. But it's like they have people all on the stage, and it's like a
Oh
podcast.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
They just
I
came.
know
They
you
just
seen
came.
tonight's
They just came
conversation.
to Detroit. They was just in Detroit
Yeah,
not too long ago.
I was just
Yeah,
gonna say they
yeah,
travel. So like something like that. Even if it's just me and one person, if it's a man and a woman, I want to do something like that. I want to expand like that too as well. Like you just gotta make sure you have your money right to go ahead and start
yeah.
traveling like and stuff like that.
Yep,
So
and it just taught me, once I what happened was me and him, just like sometimes, when it's more than one person, I started out doing this, and I was the producer, and I had all the equipment, and my partner, he wouldn't we weren't on we wasn't on the same page for some things, he wanted to go to some things that I didn't want to go to. I didn't want to go to things that he wanted to go to, and so
hmm
that was difficult for me because I like having control, and he wanted more control than I wanted to give. So we
yeah,
had to so we had to go our separate ways. But once I got on my own, I realized that
you can
that
do
I was
anything on your own.
yeah, I was better off when you do this specifically. You're better off doing it solo than with a partner. So
Yeah, yeah, because everybody have their own different perspectives, and nobody can judge you like when you're doing your own. This is my show, like so can't nobody tell you like
right,
mine is Lachey Ventures. I'm the CEO. Like this is my business. Like you say, you probably not getting paid for it, but you gotta love what you do. You really do
right,
have to love what you do. You know what I'm saying? Like
right,
it's been spats where you go through the spats as well. Business go ups and down. I'm learning it. You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
but yeah, like it's spats is where you gonna want to give up, but you gotta push yourself.
Right, right. But you know, it worked out. I think that I think in the end, you know, I got better, you know, then the show got bigger and I got more opportunities, you know,
Look
because
at you.
you know
See that the show got bigger, more opportunities. That wasn't nobody but God. Shout out to the big G. God, that
yeah,
wasn't nobody but
oh
him
yeah, no doubt, no doubt,
doing
no
that
doubt.
for you. And it is from what I looked at, it's great. Like I see like a lot of celebrities, like yeah, as you say, you gotta do your research. So yeah, I looked on your page, but yeah, you do a lot, and that's a great opportunity. I see in your background, I see them all the movies I done half of them I done watched. Yeah,
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
yeah. So big shout out to that. That's amazing
Thank
for
you, thank you. I appreciate that, man.
doing what
I
you do
pride
now.
myself. I pride myself on being professional. You know, if you know,
Um,
you gotta you gotta at least look the part. So I try to at least look the part. You know, so.
what legacy do you hope to leave in the entertainment, journalism, media? What legacy do you want to leave?
You know what? That you know, I remember. Only thing I remember. Only thing I'm gonna say this. I remember. I remember when I first started doing it. I looked up. I'm gonna say we was probably about. I was probably about maybe 5 or 6 movie premieres in before I seen anybody else doing it. So hopefully, hopefully my legacy can be that I was a pioneer in Detroit podcasting, or a pioneer in Detroit movie premieres, or a pioneer in that aspect, man. You know, because I didn't see anybody else doing it when I started, and then you know I'm gonna say after 2 or 3 years, and then I started seeing a lot more people pop up, man. So hopefully, you know they can. You know, can say, hey man, Trav was right there in the beginning when Detroit started blowing up, you know, with the movie premieres and the independent movies, you know, because if I'm not mistaken at the time, Murder Payne at the time, he was the only one that was really like popping at the time, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and it seemed like right after I had came along, you know, everything. I'm not saying it's because of me, but it just seemed like right around about that time, Detroit film just started right after the pandemic. Let's just say that right after the
Right
pandemic.
after the pandemic stuff got popping, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. The independent film scene in Detroit really just became a leader. It became a leader, and I feel proud that I was there. You know, when it took off, man. So I want that to be my legacy. That I was there when it took off.
Okay, okay, okay. Is there any advice that you would like to give to someone that is just now like trying to get into that, like transform over to that? What advice
Um,
would you give them? Like, and
just
how would you tell them to conduct themselves going into this and their mindset to be?
Well, you know, first of all, you know, make sure you know you gotta do your research. You know, you gotta find out everything that it entails. And but like I said before, first of all, you got to have an interest in it. You really got to be interested in it. That's the most important thing, is to be interested in it, because I love it. I go hard for it every time. Every time. I don't care if you an extra. If I'm interviewing an extra, man, I'm going hard for you, just like I'm going hard for Diesel. You know,
That
I'm,
part.
I'm, I'm
That
gonna go.
part.
Yeah, I'm gonna go hard for the extra, just like I go hard for the star. You know what I'm saying?
That
And so,
part.
and that's because I love it and I get excited about it. So make sure you love it, and then make sure you find out everything that's involved with it, and find out if you can do it.
Alright. Yeah, that's real good advice because a lot of people go into it and not really wanting to do it and want the money, but it's not all about the money because money gonna come, but it's not the money not gonna be there at the beginning.
Right.
You looking for that, you might as well cut that out. It ain't
I
love the
tell you
people.
what, if and during the pandemic, if I would have looked into the podcast equipment and the prices, if I couldn't afford the prices, I wouldn't be doing it right now. So so just make sure you can do it, make sure you can afford it. So I had no idea what this stuff cost, but when I looked into it, it was just the same price as the DJ equipment that I had. And but had it been expensive, oh no, I wouldn't even be doing it right now. So
Okay.
make sure you can do it.
Do you have any questions for me?
Yeah, you know what? Let's talk about you. I research your page as well.
Oh,
Everything looks good. Everything looks professional. How long you been doing this?
a year.
A year? Oh my God! Your page looks great. You,
Thank you.
you are you a graphic artist?
No, what I do is I ask you guys like what you want on your poster. Like if I send an email out, and I go to like the AI, and I go to ChatGPT,
That's my
and I put it
girl.
out there.
Smart girl.
Yeah,
Smart girl. You figured
because
it
it's
out.
like I wanna make it to what y'all love. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
If I know you a music artist and you have an album coming out, why not put your album on the back cover with your picture? My whole thing
Exactly.
is to do what y'all love. Y'all
Exactly.
accepted my interview. Y'all didn't have to accept my interview. So if I don't do what y'all love, why am I? Like you have to take interest in the people